Hi, I'm Henry Price. I'm the Senior Manager of Training and Curriculum at Princeton Review and Tutor.com. Here to talk to you a bit about how the high-dosage tutoring model here at our company is going to be built. So the first thing to know about high-dosage tutoring is that this is a highly research-based program. This is not a Princeton Review Tutor.com invention, though we do feel we're going to do a great job at doing it. Multiple studies have confirmed that of all the methods attempted in the last several years to address learning loss that was massively accelerated and worsened by the COVID pandemic, but not begun then. It has existed for a long time. High-dosage tutoring is the most effective of those interventions. Specifically, the Annenberg Institute at Brown University and the University of Virginia built a model that we are very closely following, and I want to tell you a little bit more about that. Tutors will be meeting with students on a regular basis. That's 3 times a week for a full academic term in groups of up to 4 students. This allows tutors and students to build relationships and set evolving, targeted goals for improvement. It will be in alignment with curriculum standards and supported by high-quality Princeton Review materials, textbooks, and methodologies. So unlike our classic Tutor.com, where the student comes and informs us what they need help with, and also unlike TPR test prep, in which we tell students to look at test questions from a very different perspective than they might look at their academic content, this is a good mix in which our high-dosage tutors will be arriving at the session with a set of learning objectives that were identified by the districts that we're working with and supported by the Princeton Review materials. So as a Tutor.com program, this program functions a bit differently than our on-demand tutoring historically has. In our on-demand sessions, students schedule or simply try to launch a session in real time with a tutor in which the tutor does not know ahead of time exactly what the student is coming to talk about, but as soon as they are logged in with the student tells them everything they need to know, and the tutor then uses all of the resources at their disposal and all of their strategies for getting the student to get from wherever they are to wherever they're trying to get from a very contained, specific set of goals that they identified. With high-dosage tutoring, and by the way, with the traditional Tutor.com model, you might never work with the same tutor more than once. You might if you schedule it that way, but you can also just log in and work with whomever you happen to find available. With high dosage, it's very different. We're going to be scheduling regular sessions with a small group of students who remain consistent and a tutor who remains consistent. This relationship building approach is really important in all of the research that suggests that high dosage tutoring is such an effective intervention. It's also different in the platform that they'll be using. Our students will be logging in through the Leo platform, which is our proprietary instructional design platform. They will be launching their sessions from inside that platform on a regular basis. They will be supported by their classroom teacher, who they work with on an everyday basis at the district, who is aware of what we're doing and in support of that and encouraging the students to participate. So it's a very different kind of setup, but we think it's going to be extremely effective. The high frequency and small group approach to this is really for a couple of reasons. High frequency because if we consistently see the students and the tutor can monitor their progress on a regular basis, it will allow the tutor to adjust, to inform the classroom teachers and the district where the students are still seeing some additional intervention needs, as well as build those relationships with students that allow the students to really open up and let the tutor know how they need to be helped. The tutor will be able to understand how the students prefer to learn and build lessons that support that and that take advantage of the students' personalities. This contributes to accelerated learning because it's in addition to the classroom that they are already learning the topic in. So we're rolling out in Algebra 1, for example, and in Algebra 1, they're going to be very likely already taking that course in their high school setting, and then the tutor will be providing additional support. So it could be anything from the tutor finds out what the district is working on at that time and finds the curriculum from our Princeton Review books that most directly aligns with that. And then they actually get to cover a lot of that same content in 2 different types of settings during the same week. It could also be that our students are coming to us because they didn't do well in algebra the first time. Maybe they're in an intervention course because they still haven't passed the Algebra 1 end of course exam. And so our tutors have the flexibility to figure out exactly where their areas were in which they need the most help, and they can target those so that they can retake that exam and wind up passing it. So in short, this is on top of the algebra experience that they are already having in the high school. We'll be providing the additional support and resources that they wouldn't otherwise have access to. When it comes to the academic gains that students are going to be seeing from high-dosage tutoring, we really feel it's going to be a matter of providing them with whatever instructional support that it is very difficult for them to get in the classroom. So a typical classroom teacher is going to be working with up to 25 students at a time throughout several different class periods throughout the day. And as anybody who's worked with student populations who are in such high numbers can tell you, it is extremely challenging to get them to cover every student's individual needs in the time that they have. So rather than schedule tutoring after school with their own classroom teacher, which they may still be doing, they can come to us, and they can do this in addition to the algebra class that they're taking. So they might get it from a slightly different perspective, but for sure what they're going to get is just more time with that classroom, with that same content that they're covering in the classroom. And the students will be grouped together in such a way that they might have similar needs. So if your group of up to 4 students needs to cover a very specific algebra content that they have all shown a particular deficiency in, then that is the first thing we will tackle. Or maybe it's a more high achieving group and we want to make sure that they are able to thrive in an area that, again, maybe the classroom teacher is just struggling to find time to make time for because of all the other things that classroom teacher has to do throughout the course of a typical day. So the idea is to provide whatever it is the classroom teacher hasn't had a chance to do but knows the student needs.